When you say make anything possible, three very easy words, but it sounds huge, right? Make anything possible. What do you mean by that?
In life, we are all creators. We are powerful creators. And during this lifetime, we have to discover and rediscover our power, our ability to create our life through our mind and our thoughts and our alignment between the heart and the mind. So we are rediscovering that on this planet. How do we create reality? Are we creators in our life?
Okay, let's just start. Welcome to a new episode of the Bridging Podcast.
Tomorrow is going to happen whatever we do. Is it better to go into tomorrow trusting a voice, a practice, process, a way forward? Or is it better to go into tomorrow filled with fear and not believing the things that have gotten you here so far?
Create a new reality. I close my eyes and I will be there. I will dream it. And I would say let's just start and let's see where we come. Yeah, okay. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a new episode of the Bridging Podcast. I am here together with Colette Streicher. I'm very happy that you are here, Colette. Welcome to the Bridging Podcast.
I'm so excited to be here with you, Özlem. It's an honor. You have such a wonderful podcast.
Thank you so much. We have been knowing each other for the past few years now. I also know your son, Val Streicher. He actually came on the Bridging Podcast. We did together 2 episodes. And now can you introduce yourself to the listeners? Who is Colette?
All right. Well, obviously, I have an accent. I live here in Houston, Texas, but I am French originally. I am a licensed psychotherapist here in America. I'm a licensed massage therapist. I always wanted to do body-mind work. I'm the founder of MAP, Make Anything Possible, which is a revolution literally in the field of psychology. You will see, we will talk about it. And I'm the international bestseller author of Abundance on Demand, the green book right there behind me. And also the CEO and the founder of a very thriving international company. So the MAP Coaching Institute.
Wow. Thank you for this introduction, Colette. I have read your book, Abundance on Demand. We will go in there very soon. But when you say make anything possible, MAP Institute, like, the abbreviation, do I say it right? MAP, make anything possible. I mean, 3 very easy words, but I mean, it sounds huge, right? Make anything possible. What do you mean by that?
Yes, well, in life, we are all creators. We are powerful creators. And during this lifetime, we have to discover and rediscover our power, our ability to create our life through our mind and our thoughts and our alignment between the heart and the mind. So we are rediscovering that on this planet. And MAP as a method began more as a therapy originally, because it's an incredible way to rewire the brain very fast by giving commands to the brain, and it dissolves and neutralizes negative memories and beliefs within minutes. So it's literally, like I say, a big evolution in the field of psychology. So I was focusing on that first. But then there is a part of me that knows, and I spent my entire life about the power of the mind. How do we create reality? Are we creators in our life? And so that part of me wanted more. And I ended up integrating both. So that means that MAP literally is the best of therapy with the best of coaching, because coaching is about, going towards a dream, realizing anything. And then therapy was more like from -20, if you want, to 0, and back to ground zero, if you want, just you are okay, you're not suffering anymore. But I was not satisfied with that. It's about reaching your full potential. So MAP literally does the entire journey, from the most struggling, people who have been traumatized, etc., needing to feel peace in their life. And then once they feel peace, and now they want to reach their dreams. And that's the natural journey.
So are you saying like it's actually a combination of therapy and coaching to make you reach your full potential?
Yes, that's
So,
exactly it. That's the
okay,
essence of
okay. So, I want to just go back for a minute to rewiring your brain. And I understand what you're saying, but I want to make sure that our listeners also have understood what you're saying. When you say rewiring your brain, what do you mean?
well, you have memories, in
Mm-hmm.
your brain. You have neural pathways, all right? And when you have a traumatic event, a painful event, and we all have had that in our life, we can't avoid it. But when we have an event like that, it affects your behavior for the rest of your life because you have anchored, if you want, a neural pathway that leads you constantly to the same reaction, the same behavior, the same results.
Mm-hmm.
And the whole thing about therapy and coaching is about rewiring the brain so that you're not on automatic running your subconscious programs, but you are changing those programs. And for that, you do need to rewire your brain. The neural
Mm-hmm.
pathway will end up to have to be different. And with MAP, we have discovered how to do that in a very fast and gentle way compared to every other traditional approach could be very long and very painful.
Does this mean you can actually change the pattern, what is actually in your subconscious, what you keep doing for years and years? Because, our subconscious mind is like is settling when we are a baby, a toddler, a child. And then I think I'm not fully sure about it, but until 6 years old. And then, we run with this program our whole life. It is in our subconscious that we can't maybe reach anymore, but we just keep doing it. And with MAP, we can actually go back and rewire that pattern into maybe create even a new pattern.
Yes, absolutely. So,
Okay.
yes, so that's where MAP is, because there is first the rewiring, like the neutralization of the memory structure, if you want,
Okay.
and
Mm-hmm.
then the building of a new memory structure, a new identity.
Mm.
And that's where the full potential comes in, because you can't stay the same person and define yourself the same way and have different results. So you might dissolve and neutralize traumas and events and memories that was building a former identity, if you want, of someone, for example, who doesn't feel confident. I'm not good enough. Well, this comes from a series of beliefs and emotions that comes from a series of events in your life that build those beliefs in your brain. And now you're constantly making decisions through that filter. Now, once you neutralize those memories that are the core of the pattern, there's always memories. Okay, it all begins with an event in your life, many events. They co-create structures in your brain, several beliefs and emotions, all connected, if you want, like a network of neural network. So you have that built, and that's your identity. I'm not good enough.
Yeah.
For example. And then, so when you dissolve and neutralize the pillars that built that identity, neutralize the events that were creating those beliefs, then suddenly the beliefs are weaker and even changed and neutralized. So now you have perhaps no sabotaging beliefs that support that belief. But it doesn't mean that now you're super confident. You have reached ground zero. It's okay.
Yeah.
You're not sabotaging yourself very much. You don't think of yourself as not being good enough, but it doesn't make you a peak performer or someone who
Yes.
is really successful and feel good and abundant.
So when you say neutralizing it, it's like you come to a level that you don't have any judgment on it. You are like not like I should do it, I shouldn't do it. Why am I doing? You're just like it is what it is. Is this correct? What I'm saying?
It goes deeper than that. It's like
Mm-hmm.
usually it's an emotion that is attached.
Mm-hmm.
In every event, you have the base information in your brain. Like, for example, a car accident.
Mm-hmm.
You see the lights of the car, you remember braking, you remember the sound. These are basic data, if you want. And then
Mm-hmm.
there is another part of the brain that records the emotions. So now you have plenty of fear and panic and shock in your system. Now, when you neutralize those, that means that those neural pathways are not going to the area of the brain where the pain, the emotional pain is. You still have the memory of the car accident, but you can remember it without being afraid anymore, and you can be at peace with it. It's like you say, it's just a fact. And then once it's a fact, it doesn't affect your driving anymore. Some people don't go and drive on a highway anymore because of the car accident.
There are no emotions attached to it, but it's just a fact. This happened, but there are no emotions attached to it anymore. Okay. So actually, this is very interesting. You know, I would like to actually dive into the abundance topic around this, what you just described. Like, for example, for me, abundance, you know, we can define this later on for the listener as what you think it is. But for me, like, abundance was also a lot correlated with financial abundance, money. And, you know, when I was growing up, I had a huge resistance towards having a lot of money. You know, a lot of might change depend of the person, because, you know, in our family system, my perception, my emotions were attached. People with a lot of money in our family, you know, also extended families, I don't know if they are good people. You know, that was my judgment on them. And, you know, I was like, good people are doctors, nurses, teachers. I don't know, someone working in education or in the hospital, what is it called? The care. And I was like, these are good people. They don't earn that much money, but they are good people. But if you have a lot of money, you're bad people. Like, this was my full perception on it, and which also actually, I never realized that. But until I read your book, actually, a few years ago, I realized I have so many money blocks, because my idea of I don't want to be a bad person. Because I don't want to be a bad person, don't give me any money, because otherwise I am a bad person. So this is, I want to dive into that about this. But first, can you please explain or define for us what is abundance? You wrote the book Abundance on Demand.
Yes. Abundance is an abundance of all the good things in life. And the good things in life, yes, it can be an abundance of love, an abundance of anything and everything. However, there is also included an abundance of money, because abundance of money gives you also the ability and the freedom to have even experiences that are more abundant of good things in life. And good things in life is you define it. It could be good things helping others, good things. It depends completely on your own identity, your own core desire in your heart, who you are, who you have become in your life. So you can have lots of money. It really doesn't matter. Money is an exchange, energy of exchange. It gives you more choices in life to exchange with. So you have more resource to exchange with. And when you have more resource, now there is money as a resource, could be time is a resource. You know, there are other resources, but there is one that is easy, that's just electronic right now. It's the fastest, easiest way to exchange resources, actually. And so with resources, then you are free to exchange and to bring into your life more good things. More things that you desire. And it could go from what you desire is to plant 1 million trees, or what you desire is to buy a new house, or what you desire is, it totally depends on your own true desires and who you really are as a person. So money being a resource just expands what you can do in life that is good for you, good for humanity, depending on who you truly are. It expands your identity.
So to sum it up, actually, abundance does not need to be only about money, but it's a certain thing. Either it's love, friends or work or resources, the travel, the money, what you have actually a lot of. It is just, there are a lot of resources for you. Either it is like living on a farm with animals and plants and, vegetable gardens. You can experience abundance in this. And if you, for example, want to travel and you might need money to buy your plane tickets, your hotels, your this and that, then the abundance might be the travel and the money.
Yes, and the money can be one. Sometimes we are locked into the idea that there is only money that will give you what you want. And that's a limiting belief. If you're open to receive, you are going to receive a discount, or a friend gives you a plane ticket, or you can open yourself up to all types of abundance. As long as you're just open to receive. And money is one of the ways that sometimes is the easiest in our society because of the exchange and the way it is created. It's easier than giving them, a ton of shells or salt, or, we used to exchange, but we exchange with things that were really heavy and difficult to exchange.
Yes.
Now, money is one of the easiest things to exchange. So we are very grateful for that.
Yeah, I find this a really interesting topic. Coming from the Dutch society, also being raised here, like in the Netherlands, we can talk about different topics. It's also really known as a very open society. We can talk about sex. We can talk about anything when we're having dinner with people. But once it is about money, most people, it's in the culture. They do not ask each other, what do you earn, or what is the rent of your house, for how much did you buy this house. These money topics is never really talked about. And what I find actually interesting is when someone talks about, hey, I want to become a millionaire, or I want to have a lot of money. And a lot of times, if it's not always, people react on this like, but you can also be happy with, I don't know, living a humble life, living in a smaller house. And I am just wondering, why should that be related to each other? What is the mind? I'm not talking only about the Dutch society, but in general in the world. Like, why do people often talk about happiness when you just open a conversation about you want to have money for travel, or I don't know, you want to live in a big house, or you want to buy that car, whatever that is for you, because if that is making you happy, why do you think?
Yeah, that's interesting. I live in the US now, and I've lived here since 95. And so I've not heard that here, because here is not a viewpoint. But now I kind of remember, oh, yes, okay.
In France, you mean? You remember it in France?
Yes,
yeah.
Yes, in Europe, there is more of that belief that happiness, money doesn't bring happiness. There is a guilt around money and wanting to be rich and wanting to be wealthy. There is jealousy, a lot of jealousy, I've noticed. I mean, when I compare the two countries, here it's not jealousy. It would be, wow, that's awesome. There is support, like, wow, you want to be an author, for example. Go ahead, go for it, and we believe in you. I remember in France saying, who do you think you are writing a book,
Yes.
So there is a lot of guilt and jealousy and things like that because of our belief system. Again, remember, that's how we are built. So there are religious beliefs that tells you being poor in some religion is something more valued than being rich. So religion does that. I mean, there are so many belief systems coming from so many different sources. And also when someone is poor or has struggled with money, they project themselves in you, and they feel bad if there is this level of jealousy, which there is nothing wrong with it. It's just a feeling that you feel powerless, that you wouldn't be able to be a millionaire, so why would someone else be one? And, so it's all coming from belief systems, which is one of the money saboteurs that I talk about in my book, that's how you discovered that.
Yeah. So, then for actually personal question, the reason I also ask you this, do you think, or could you consider actually that I might actually have limiting beliefs about money? That's why actually I experience these things when I'm sitting at a dining table, when I am sitting with friends or with people I know, colleagues, that I actually experience this because I have already limiting beliefs in my subconscious mind about money.
Yes, and you can feel it in you when you're thinking about it. Like when you were saying the word millionaire, I could feel it in the vibration in your words. It's like, yes, I am a millionaire, for example, I am. So I am okay with that. You
Yes.
see?
Yeah, but I have a judgment on it, like, I don't know if that is the right thing, or it already goes back immediately to the pattern of like, I don't know if money is a good thing, because the perception I had, like, of people I knew when I was a child, people with the money, with being a millionaire, they weren't good people in my. The archetype I had were not the right archetypes.
But this is why I discovered in my journey. So I didn't tell you how I actually came to really focus on money blocks.
Please do this. I am very curious, and I'm sure about the listener too, that they are also curious to hear that.
Yes. So I come to America to become the best psychotherapist I can be, knowing that here is the latest knowledge and all of that. So I moved from Paris to Chicago in 95. And I go to the university for 7 years. I get a master's degree specializing in family therapy. But at the very same time, I study all the alternative psychology because I wanted faster, easier, more gentle ways to help people feel happiness in their lives. And so I studied all of that for 15 years. And finally, I opened my office. And I thought I was a good therapist. However, I inherit money from my family. And when I inherit the money, I see myself for 2.5 years totally run by my subconscious. I actually don't consciously see it. I am unconsciously spending the money, squandering, investing it in horrible places that I would have known that it was horrible, until the moment where 2.5 years later, I look at my computer screen and I have the courage to look at my bank account, and it was down to 0.00. I had squandered my entire inheritance in 2.5 years with zero to show, like foreclosures.
Can I ask you what the amount was? Do you want to share that? What it was gone in 2.5 years?
Hundreds of thousands, not less than 1 million, I would say. But
years ago, we are talking about years ago.
Well, 1995,
Yes, yes.
And for me, it could have, whatever, it could have brought people, my husband in retirement much earlier.
Yeah.
There was a lot into it. So I lost it all.
Wow.
And that's when I realized, and it was interesting to see my brain, if there was still $5 in it, I would have lied to myself saying, oh, I can still invest those $5 and recoup it or something. But there was zero. So there was it was absolute loss. And that shocked me. And I realized after 15 years of studying psychology, being a psychotherapist, having all those tools, I was still run by my subconscious program. And that shocked me. And then I decided, I'm going to spend an entire year going around and finding every single method I can find out there that are treating money blocks. And I realized I did 11 of them in a year. And I realized that every one of them were only addressing an angle of the money blocks, if you want. One of them was specializing in chakra system.
Specializing in chakra.
Yeah, clearing your chakra system for money blocks. The other one was past lives therapies. The other one was biodecoding, what happened in your generational tree. That was, the history. All of that. There were so many of them. And I realized each one of them were only addressing a slice of the pie, but not the whole thing. That's why I had 11 of them. So I was thinking, wow, we need an integrative psychology, because when you have something so deeply anchored, in the cultural beliefs, in the religious beliefs, in the generational tree. You see what I mean? In the cellular memory, literally. And it's so anchored everywhere in your body, mind, and energy and soul that we need an integrative psychology. So that's when I went on a journey and discovered a new method, which is MAP. Thanks to that journey, I
Make anything possible.
Yes, make anything possible.
First losing in 2.5 years all the money that you got.
Yeah.
And then, you know, being on a search of what are the money blockers. And then you found make anything possible, MAP.
Yes.
Okay, yes. 11 money blockers. Do I say this right then? 11?
Yes, I call it saboteurs. It's, you know, it's the same. It's 11 money saboteurs.
So what if we do, Colette, like in this episode, like that, let's look at my blockers. What about that? If you just call them maybe few of the blockers and we'll leave the rest for the listener if they want to read your book. But let's just do it on me. I don't know. What do you think about that?
That's great. Okay, so the first one are emotions about money. So what are the emotions that come up? You know, as I have, for example, an example of a client. I'm in a friend originally, and I put money on him, literally physical money. He had almost a panic attack because in his childhood, he had so much trauma around money. He was so poor that having hundreds of dollars around him on the body, he reacted emotionally. So just think about money itself, like touching money, smelling money. Is it dirty? Is it, do you love it? Do you appreciate it? Do you feeling, how do you feel about money?
I think at this moment of time, I have to be brutally honest, right? So it feels for me dirty. I have to say really dirty, like, it is, I don't know, it is like kind of associated with illegal things. It's associated with, I have money, I can buy you even, or something, you know, like that. Dirty. And then sometimes also really like, oh, it's nice, I have the money, so I can buy a ticket to Bali and just go to Bali. I can buy it. But while I'm in Bali, feeling also guilty. Oh my God, do I work hard enough? I mean, I am there, but you know, I'm spending all the money, but people are really working hard back in the Netherlands and some family members in Turkey, maybe. Oh, you know, I shouldn't spend it. But also like excitement. If I earn a lot, I'm like, wow, I just earned that. Kind of like a not being able to believe that I have earned that. Or like, whoa. Like, hey, am I worth of that?
That's
and also the emotion, I shouldn't finish it. I should make sure that I have always left in my pocket, in my wallet, or on my bank account. I shouldn't be moneyless. That is like a prison for me. I should have money, but not that much. and I have to work very hard of it. If I don't work hard, it almost feels, I feel guilty. That's guilt. Guilt is another emotion.
Yes, wonderful. And you were already moving into the number 2, which is beliefs. I have to work hard. What other beliefs might someone have here in terms of money? What do you think about money?
Yeah, so I have to work hard. Like if I don't work hard, I don't deserve it. Like it feels almost like bad. Like, you know, the more my career like just developed, I was earning more, but I was like, I'm making the same hours. I was just like, hey, but no, it feels really weird or something. And another belief is like, another belief is also, I love money. Honestly, I love money, but also I don't like that I love money. I love money, but I don't like that I love money. And, you know, since 1 year, I keep telling my friends, like, you know, I love money. I love money. I want to have a lot of money. And I'm just kind of owning it. I'm trying to owning it. I'm a little bit overcompensating, but sometimes inside still I'm like, oh, am I a good person? Oh, you know, I say this, but I want it a lot. But and then I try to find some how do you say that? Um justifications, like, you know, but I want to have money for to help my family, to help my friends. And I'm just like, I'm very scared to say I want to have money a lot for my own sake, joy. I'm scared to say that. But I want it.
So you see,
I'm even sweating. I'm even sweating when I'm saying this. I'm like, no one is listening, but everyone is listening later on to this episode. Yeah.
Wonderful. So you notice now all the conflicting beliefs you have. So in your mind, you have all those conflicting programs that
Yeah.
keep you stuck at the same level. And that's what happened to me when I realized, you know, for 15 years, I had earned exactly the same amount. Because when you earn a little more, you lose it or you go down. And so you end up, I would like the listeners to think about it. What is your maximum and your minimum? It sounds like you go up and down, like maximum I have earned that, but then you go down because you don't feel comfortable. You're too rich for that. And
Yeah.
then you go down and then, oh, you don't feel comfortable because now it's not who you are. You're too poor and you're unsafe.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think that's a very good one also to ask the listener. It's almost like a resistance chart of like a stock index. You know, you see like it's just going up and then it hits the top and then it goes down again. And it also happens to me, I have to say, like, you know, when I never had, actually, honestly, I never had no money. I always had money. But, you know, at moments that I was not like very abundant about money, I was like, oh, now it's time to make it a lot. Then I make a lot. And then I'm like, then I just indeed kind of go back. It's not that I have only like all the time that.
Yes, because there is a comfort zone, and the comfort zone is defined by your beliefs. So you believe, boom, and these beliefs are connected to an identity. I'm a good person, I'm a bad person, etc., etc. I am safe, I am not safe, etc. So yes, so that was number 2, the beliefs. Now let me ask you something that's fun, and all the listeners can follow there. If money was a character, who would that be?
Oh my God. Okay, I have different characters depending of my mood. One character may be a mafia guy. Really a mafia guy. Another one will be actually a lonely person which has a lot of money but no one around him or her. Especially, I kind of, the characters are a man in my head also. And another one will be kind of like a Mother Teresa, having a lot of money but just giving it to anyone. I cannot have somehow, and that's the point, you know, I can't reach that point. I cannot have someone, a confident woman, enjoying life, traveling, you know, I love traveling, living her best life, having a lot of money in her pocket or the bank, just going around. If she wants to help people, she helps people. She doesn't feel like she has to help people. No, she wants it. That's why she does it. And just being confident, independent, and living in abundance. I don't have that. I want to have that, that character in front of me. Mafia guy, Mother Teresa, and the other one was? What was the other one? I don't know. Oh, a lonely person. Lonely.
Totally. So you see, you don't have a lot of good choices in
Oh
life.
God. That's why I keep being in my comfort zone, going up, going down. No, okay. Okay, cool. Now I'm very curious about how I can just change this all, but we will get there, I think.
Yes. Well,
I love this conversation so much.
so yeah, I think we have explored 3 of them, and then they can explore perhaps more.
Yeah, shall we explore more? Maybe
The
one more? Maybe one more?
The history. So your timeline, if you were to draw a timeline from conception to now, is there any event around money in your family when you were a child? Did your father lost his job? Did you see, so you can trace your history in terms of money. Did you earn a lot, then lost a lot, then what happened? So if you were to do that on a straight line, you would see ups and downs, beginning very early in life, for example, even beginning in the womb, like your parents. What situation was it when your mom was pregnant?
Yeah, I think, very important point in our family, and my brother also acknowledges that. Like, my granddad came to the Netherlands to buy more land. That was the case. To go back to Turkey and then get more land. But then he brought all his children, and they actually always lived very small life, don't spend that much money, save the money, buy land. So after a while, he had a lot of land in Turkey. But somehow, when my dad, he had 2 brothers and 1 sister, and always there were arguments between them. It was always about money, always, and then, and I also remember with some special days like Eid and all. I remember we went to my granddad's house and we were like, are we talking to our uncle today or not? Because I was like, does my parents have contact with them or not? How does it work? And also the opposite happened, because we kept talking, my brother, me, and my sister was much younger, but there was always like a tension between them, but it was almost always about money. Who has the most land and the less land? And my mom, she used to tell us, it is actually also that my mom came from a very abundant family, but not in money, not in finances, but they had 10 children. She said, we always had food. We always had a lot of things. People came to our house. It was a lot of fun. We had food and all, and they were working very, very hard. And I was always thinking like, oh, but and the family of my mom, they never had arguments. They never fought in, not in just physical fighting, but are having arguments. And I was like, such a beautiful family, look. And they were really not rich. They didn't have that much money, but I was like, amazing, they don't have that much money, but they are in peace, they are happy. And my dad's family, oh my, it was always something. And I attached to that, like, this is the money part.
Here we go. You see?
Yeah, I'm very aware of it. And I was like, I don't want to be like that. I just resisted that. But the very big but is, Colette, I had, since I was growing up as a child, how do you say, a talent for money. I was very good at math. I loved earning it. I had a talent. I just calculations and all, I had that. But I was resisting that talent. I was like, no, because I want to be like my mom's family, happy and, not that rich. That's okay. But it took me years until I turned 30 to own it. I am, investing in stocks and all. I love it. But it took me 30 years to start that up. But before I was like, no, I shouldn't go there. I shouldn't go there.
Sure, Özlem. So you're realizing that. And I want your listeners to ask themselves the question, what happened? So you asked another level was generational. So now you had the generational impact, mother side, father side. two different stories around money. And then in terms of timeline, the savings of your parents and the fights, you know, the fights that happened and all of that around money. So all your listeners can just do a timeline and think about, first of all, in this present life, did they lose the house when they were a kid? That the father lost his job, or the mom had to do 3 jobs, or what happened, you know, in terms of money? And what were the messages you got? Because these are messages that totally run your life.
Yes.
You see, unconsciously, every single decision you make around money is made out of all those programs. First, run through at the speed of light through all the belief system before you can make a decision around money.
So does this also mean, Colette, for example, you know, I had also very rich friends, millionaire friends, you know, but their parents they had a lot of money, and their grandparents, because, you know, they actually never had a sabotaging thing going on when growing up. They just had it, and there's not that much, and they are very easy with it. They are not showing off their money. They are just super chilled around it, but they keep having it all the time. Does that mean, like, also on the other side, you might have sabotages like I used to have and maybe still have, but parts, and the way they grew up as, you know, we have money and that's it. Like I have a hand, we also have money, or I have, I don't know, a house, we also have money. Is that something, then can we say that that's either you're rich or poor or whatever your beliefs are about money, that keeps recreating through different generations if you are not getting aware of it?
Yes, absolutely. Everything you live as a child and your family and all of those money saboteurs can be money. We could have another word, you know, money thrivers. You know, it's like it helped you. You have the right emotions around it. You have joy and love and appreciation, and you have fun around it. You can have good beliefs like it comes easily. I don't need to do anything. I am gifted about it, like you were saying. So you have a few good ones that you can keep. Your relationship with it, it's like a wonderful friend that is always there for you.
You know, actually, I would like to share with the listener that after all these sabotaging things I used to have, I am working with affirmations, and actually daily what I affirm, few sentences for money, about money, is like, money comes easily to me. I love money because it gives me a lot of resources for me, you know, and wealth flows in my life. That's what I affirm almost daily. And, you know, and I feel that it is really, I'm just getting more easy with it. I'm not fully desiring it or something. It's just coming. And, you know, I might not hit the resistance point yet that I just go fully up. But you said like emotions, beliefs, characters. You said the timeline, make a timeline where something happened in your tiny childhood or teenage years. Can we have a fifth one?
Well, the fifth was the generational.
Generation.
Going back in generation. For example, I remembered and discovered when I was doing that work for generational that my grandfather on my mother's side fell off a roof, broke his neck, could never work again. And the mother, the wife, had to work as someone who was ironing clothes for the wealthy people around. And I don't know why, but it was connected to me never being able to earn a living for the family. I was taking his belief about can't earn a living for my family, that for years I was not able to earn more than my husband, even though I had potential. And so I had to clear that to free myself from the ceiling.
I think this is so interesting for many women, especially, you know, because 100 years ago, if either it was in Europe or Middle East or wherever it was, women were earning less than men. And nowadays we are fighting that it's not happening anymore. And there are still places that's happening, but it is also in the generation we come from.
Yes, you're right. And it's a whole belief. So going back to your, I like that. It's not only, it's a gender belief. So there is the cultural, it's part of the cultural belief, the beliefs of limitations around your gender affecting your income. So there are so many, now you understand how the money blocks are coming from so many different ways. That's why, you know, we needed to integrate those into a way of healing.
So let's say the listener thinks like, now as Özlem is brutally honest with herself, I don't need to do it on podcast. They might say, they just write this all down, right? Their emotions, belief, characters, timeline, generation, things. What happens then? So now you get aware of it. You know, oh, okay, I grew up like this. So how can we then actually master the inner game of money?
Yes. So now, you know, we talked about memories and we talked about rewiring the brain.
Yes.
Now it's time to rewire your brain. So that's where I developed the method of MAP, because it's faster, easier, gentler than many other methods. But there are many methods out there you can use. You can go to a therapist, you can go to a coach and do some NLP, some EFT. There are some different methods. And all you want is to address those beliefs, emotions, memories that do not serve you and neutralize them. And that's only step 2 of the method. So the MAP method is 3 steps, actually. And it's 3 steps to really make anything possible. Because if you just clear those, as I said, it's not going to make you wealthy and rich. You might not think like a wealthy, rich, and abundant person. You might not think any more negative, but you're just back at square one. You know, ground zero. You're not sabotaging, but you're not extraordinary either. So let me give you the 3 steps to really make anything possible. The first step, you need to magnify your dream. You need to know where you're going and to have an intention to make more money. So this
Are you writing that, listeners? Magnify your life or your dream, what you want. Put that out there. That's number 1. Okay.
Make it bigger, you know, define it. And there is a lot to it. But let's say just this step. Actually have the intention to make more money. And even that step already creates some doubts and fears. I know that for me, for years, I did not have an official and a clear intention to make more money. I was wishing it without defining it and stepping into it and choosing it. So the first step is you want to be to a place where you're aligned enough to say, yes, I do want more money in my life. And that already, like I say, is bringing up some doubts and fears and all of that. So when you get to that first step, I do want more money. And how does money feel like to me? What does it give me? Because let me tell you the big secret is that money doesn't give you a car or a house or anything. Actually gives you a feeling.
Yes. Dr. Joe Dispenza says exactly the same. Like it is the feeling you get with it. Like the house, not the walls, but what is the feeling you are actually seeking?
Yeah, that's what I like to, that's what I have experienced myself. It's that I was asking myself, what is it that I truly, truly, truly desire in terms of abundance? Because what I wanted was unlimited abundance. I was tired of being limited now, and I just shifted around. I want unlimited abundance. And I asked myself, what is it that I truly want? And what I truly wanted was this feeling of unlimitedness, the feeling of freedom to be, to have anything, to go anywhere, to have anything I wanted. It was this feeling of unlimitedness. So that was what money would give me, unlimited. But actually, I needed to really tune into unlimitedness to become unlimited It's very interesting. It's super deep. I can't go there today, but it's not that you can be superficial and say, I want a car, I want a certain amount of money, I want a new house. Then you can go deeper and go, but what is it that I truly want?
So I want to do a sidestep there for the listener, you know, like Colette wanted to experience unlimitedness, being unlimited. And that's why she wants to create the money. And for you, the listener, it might be another emotion, whatever emotion that is. But first you have to define what is the feeling you want to experience with the house. Like, do you want to live alone in the house, or do you want to live with a family, with joy, laughters, dinner parties, whatever, people coming over, staying over in maybe 4 bedrooms you're having? Just this is actually one of my dreams. Okay, so it might be unique for the person, right? And there's not a right or wrong. You should just really look in, what is my dream? What is the emotion I would like to experience?
And for that, you have to go from your head to your heart.
Mm.
You really have to go. It's not logical, because if you stay in your mind, you're going to be directed by your conditioned programs.
Yes.
I should have a house by this time in my life.
Yes.
I should have it. No. What is it that you truly desire to experience in life? Because your life as a soul is to experience. So you want freedom, you want joy, you want cooperation and harmony and having fun and whatever. For me, it was unlimitedness. And so define what you want, and then how it feels and all of that, and the details of what is it that you truly desire. That's the first step. Then
Colette, can I ask you something? Sorry if I have stopped you, actually. But let's say you go from your mind to heart, eh? So the mind, you know, in my case, I want to give an example. The mind maybe says, like, you buy a house, these conditions, like you do this, you earn this money, you get this mortgage, these steps, analytical, and then you get it. But when you go to the heart, things in an unknown field happen. You know, I don't know, maybe someone calls you up with like, hey, the house you wanted wasn't on sale, but now it's on sale, and even for this price. Or you just get something happen. Maybe you get it from someone, because you go to the heart space, you're opening yourself to a very unlimited area, and not in the analytical, the logic area.
Yes.
Do you agree with that?
Yes, I totally agree. Once you drop into the heart, first of all, you have your truth, and outside of the programs. So you really clearly know an essence of what you want, what your soul literally truly desires. And that is really pure. So there's not so many doubts and fears around it. For me, when I wanted unlimitedness, there was not a lot of programs around that. You see, there was none. I could easily tune into what I wanted, and I didn't know where it would lead me. It ended up leading me to Manifested Map, which is an unlimited method to really create unlimitedness in people's life, which is very interesting, but very indirect. I didn't know at the time. It brought me everything I wanted through a new method in the field of psychology. I would not have sat down with my mind and say, I sit down and I want a new field, a breakthrough in the field of psychology. No, I couldn't have come up with that. But I came up with unlimitedness. I wanted to be unlimited and have an unlimited impact on this planet. And boom, I ended up downloading this new method and all of that, and the rest is history now. So
define your dreams, 1.
Yeah,
and then 2.
As soon as you have dreams, especially if you're a little more specific, which can be also, you can be more specific. Then, like going back to college, and I had a client who wanted to really work for NASA since she was a child. And she had to go and clear all the blocks, because she began as a single mom, a mom, 5 kids, very violent marriage, to WISMAP, having the courage to divorce, single mom, 5 kids. Then having the courage to go back to school, finish her electrical engineering degree. Finally, applying for NASA and being the first hired in this humongous thing, and she's now working with the astronauts, and she's become a rocket scientist.
Wow.
So that was her dream, but the dream took many steps: the divorce, the freedom, then going to college, then graduating, then I ended up having a job at NASA. So each time you have a step that could be a little more clear, like, yes, buying a house could be a step towards your dream. Then you have doubts and fears and programs and beliefs, and we are back to the 11 Money Saboteurs. It's like, okay, now you need to clear what's blocking you, the rocks on the road, the big boulders, the low self-esteem. Who am I to think I could be independent one day? Who am I to think I could be a millionaire one day?
Yeah.
Who am I to think that I could, be free or live the
That
life
I could
I love?
experience, that I allow myself to have fun and joy.
Yes, who am I to, or whatever. So it's all identities and limited thoughts and beliefs about yourself that needs to be cleared, and with the fastest and best method you can find. So as I said, there are several out there, and MAP is one of them, and now it's really the latest, if you want, the one that is more revolutionary.
Removing the blocks, number 2. And then let's say we have removed it. Did we this word is really difficult for me. Did we neutralize?
Yes, good memories, we neutralize them all. So you feel at peace when you think of money, when you think of all of that. And then you magnetize. That means you are going to rebuild your brain for a new identity. And now it's a wealthy identity, or someone who is unlimited. You see, it's not enough to just neutralize. Like I said, you do need to build your brain after that. And it's a very different way of doing it. Dissolving is fast, especially when you use the superconscious mind to rewire the brain, like MAP is doing. It can be very fast. But then wiring is another step. It's about reconnecting the dots in your brain and creating neural pathways to believe that you are unlimited, that you are worthy of success, that you are worthy of ease. All of that needs to be wired.
Yeah. Wow, amazing, amazing, amazing. I just want to say the steps: dream it, remove the blockers, and wire the brain, right? Wire the brain again. Okay. Colette, this was really amazing. I actually have to say also, I've never been that vulnerable about money topic in the episodes that I'm talking about my money blocks. But I just want to thank you so, so much. Where can people find you?
Well, at the website is the mapcoachinginstitute.com, MAP coachinginstitute.com, or Amazon, or everywhere to buy my book, Abundance on Demand. I have it here, so I can show it to you.
Yeah. We will put it also in the episode notes. All the links we will put in the episode notes. My last question, Colette. So the Bridging podcast is about bridging. It's about bringing the listener on a bridge, sometimes to a familiar place, sometimes to a new place. If you could take the listener on a bridge, where would you like to take them?
I'd like to take them on the wildest adventure of their life. To places they have never been before. To ways of dreaming they have never dreamt before. To go beyond what I have ever believed before.
You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do this before I sleep. I'm going to be there. I close my eyes and I will be there. I will dream it. Colette, thank you. Thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. I loved it so much. I hope you did too.
Yes, it was fabulous. Thank you so much, Özlem.